Judas to betray Jesus. Matthew 26:14-15 says, "Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, 'What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?' So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver." This is the story of Judas, the disciple who chose betrayal over loyalty, and how Jesus' path to the cross was set in motion. The chief priests and leaders were plotting to arrest Jesus secretly, afraid of the crowds who followed him. Judas Iscariot, one of Jesus' own disciples, went to them in secret. He asked, "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" They agreed to pay him 30 pieces of silver, the price of a common slave. From that moment on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over. Later, during the Passover meal, Jesus sat at the table with his 12 disciples. As they ate, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." The disciples were shocked and saddened. One by one they asked him, "Surely you don't mean me, Lord?" Jesus replied, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." Then Judas, who would betray him, said, "Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi?" Jesus answered quietly, "You have said so." Later that night, Judas arrived with soldiers in the Garden of Gethsemane. He gave them a signal, "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Judas went up to Jesus and greeted him with a kiss. Jesus asked him, "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" And with that, the betrayal was complete. Judas's story is a warning. He walked with Jesus, heard his teaching, and saw his miracles, yet his heart turned toward greed and selfish gain. It reminds us that proximity to Jesus is not the same as devotion to him. We may not betray Jesus with a kiss, but when we choose money, pride, or selfishness over faithfulness to him, we too can deny him. The story challenges us to examine our hearts and remain loyal, no matter the cost. The betrayal of Judas shows us the depth of human weakness, but also the strength of God's plan. Even betrayal could not stop God's love or his purpose through Christ. That is the story of Judas to betray Jesus.